Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Arrogant. In this video I'd like to go over exactly how you can upgrade your Dormant Forger's box. Now you will obtain this just by doing the initial few quests within the zone Valenhas, and you will access this area through the campaign Descent into Avernus. So just click start on that and you'll get a quest which will lead you to this area. You'll get a quest then from Makos to do some heroic encounters, and then you'll get your Forger's box from Alric, and then you'll be able to upgrade this all the way to Mythic quality. And we can just check in their collections here real quick that this Forger's box on Mythic is going to give a maximum of 3% power and then one of the random following effects. And in my opinion, it's one of the best belt items still currently available within the game for DPS characters and healer characters, just for the stats it gives and thus the overall boost to your character's performance. Now, how do you upgrade this thing? Well, you're going to need a bunch of these different metal rods. And you can see by right clicking and clicking refine, you can see it will require you a rod with a 100% chance to then upgrade. Now this first reinforced rod you're going to obtain from farming your heroic encounters. Primarily just do the heroic encounter with the big Balgura demon, otherwise known as the ape heroic encounter, or BHE, big heroic encounter, as you would see then within the zone chat. The next rod you will need is the Broken Metal Rod, and the very easy way to obtain this is to go into a private queue and queue up to the dungeon Cragmire Crypts. Just before you do that though, make your way over to one of these vendors with the coins above their head, one of the ones that will sell you these kind of items, and make sure to pick up a bunch of your dungeoneering kits. You can just buy like 99 of them there, but generally you won't need that many, and we just buy like 20 or so. And then you want a bunch of thievery kits as well. Now if you're a rogue or a bard, or if depending on your class as well, you might not need one of those certain kits. For example, on a bard, down here we can see that we have the skill thievery, and thus we don't need thievery kits. So we go private, we go to the Cragmire Crypts dungeon and we queue up. This will then throw you into this instance, and what you want to do now is simply run forward, avoid those enemies, go to the right of the doorway here so you don't aggro them, go around to this crypt here, interact with this kit. This is a dungeoneering kit. Take your items and continue around, again still avoiding those enemies. Go around the statue here and then straight down this corridor here, and you have another crypt, and here you need your thievery kit. And once you go and obtain your rewards, you'll have a chance to obtain that Broken Metal Rod. And you'll probably have to open these skill nodes like 20 to 30 times. So the way you repeat it is you abandon your instance, and then you simply go again private dungeon Cragmire Crypts and just queue again. Make sure you're on private, otherwise you're gonna have to wait for other people and they're gonna want to complete the dungeon. And the third metal rod you'll get from Alyssa. Just here you're gonna have to rank your amulet up a little bit, I believe to purple, and then you'll be able to just buy the balanced metal rod. 15,000 astral diamonds and 55 of those secrets. So it's going to take you just over 1 day of your daily cap of those. You will need to be doing Rage of Bell, fighting him to get these infernal secrets. And then you will have to try and obtain the Battle Worn Metal Rod. And this one you will obtain during your insurgencies. When you complete it, you have a chance to obtain this rod. Now just keep in mind you can only obtain these rods if you already have your Forger's box. I don't believe you can obtain them if you don't have that within your inventory. If you've discarded your Forger's box, well, rip. Don't discard something that you don't know what it is. And so, completing those insurgencies, we managed to drop our Battle Worn Metal Rod. And so, second to last, you will need the Infused Metal Rod. Now here you will want to make sure to check if the Rage of Bell is active. You can see it is. And you want to take this teleport here, depending if you have it unlocked or not. But anyway, you're going to end up over in this area of the map, and you can see Bell's portal just there, which is just down here, and you'll interact with this portal and you'll queue up, ideally with a group, but you can go solo if you want to, and you will have a chance to drop that Infused Metal Rod. And so the last metal rod you will need is the Dented Metal Rod. Now you'll have to make sure that you go and get your amulet upgraded to Mythic. And in order to do that, you can see you're going to have to obtain the percentage. And unfortunately, you can only obtain 20% per day. And you should have this quest, Order of the Rift Wardens, and should show you exactly how much magic you've absorbed from those insurgencies. And now while they're active, when you open your map, you'll see this here. You should be able to see whether insurgencies are active or not on this Rage of Bell meter. And you can see that will fill up, and once it's all the way full 100%, you won't be able to enter insurgencies anymore, and you'll only be able to fight Bell, and then it'll go on an hour cooldown after Bell. So we enter in the portal there, and we'll end up in one of these areas, and it's basically like some sort of heroic encounter, you could say. And in order to fill up this percentage, we're going to have to kill enemies. You don't have to land the final killing blow. You can just assist allies killing them as well. You can see we already got 2% there, and we just need to go and get this to 100% to get our Mythic Amulet, so we can get that Forger's Box upgraded to Mythic. And so there, we completed that quest. We head back, and now we can go hand in the quest, and then we should get our Mythic Amulet. And this will now allow us to obtain the Dented Metal Rod from these ornate boxes. Now these boxes will cost you 5,000 astral diamonds, but don't worry, you'll absolutely get your money back with regards to rough astral diamonds it gives you, along with a guaranteed drop of a companion upgrade token. Although they will cost you 15 of these infernal secrets. Again, you're capped at 54 per day just by doing Bell. And we can open these and hope to get a Dented Metal Rod, and we're very fortunate to get it, my oh my, from the very first box. And that then gives us all of these metal rods, allowing us to upgrade our dormant Forger's Box all the way up to its Mythic variant. And so here we go. We go right click on our Forger's Box, we go refine, and we can get it up to the first one, which is the glowing Forger's Box using that reinforced metal rod. The next one, you can see we need the broken metal rod, and then we need the balanced metal rod. And here we have it already on blue, and then we just need the battle worn metal rod, and then the infused metal rod to get it to legendary, and then the hardest rod to obtain in my opinion, the Dented Metal Rod, to get it to the Awakened Forger's Box, which now you will have your Mythic Belt item, which in my opinion for healers and DPS is still one of the best belt items you can have that's currently obtainable within the game. You'll slot it in here, and then when you go and actually cast that, you'll get this pretty cool animation, and you'll also go and get then the buff there in your bar. You'll gain your buff 3% guaranteed to power, and as a DPS the recharge speed boost is actually very neat that we just fortunately got there, but you can't exactly guarantee on it. One unfortunate thing though is if you do go and let's say die, then you will lose your buff from your Forger's Box. We can see it's no longer active, and we're gonna have to wait to full 10 minutes for the cooldown to expire. Usually you'll cast that Forger's Box before going into a trial, and then if you do die, you'll probably have enough time to cast this again if let's say you didn't die straight at the beginning after you've just cast your Forger's Box. But it's an incentive to not die, and thus you're rewarded with that extra little boost in stats. But you could of course balance around not using the Forger's Box, but then you're not really getting the most stat efficiency. And using something like let's say the Hawk instead of the Forger's Box, I'd recommend using both. Unless you're against particular dragon enemies, then you would have like a Wondrous Dragon. The Hawk only gives like 1 or 2% overall additional damage, and the power from the Forger's Box gives you that anyway. Of course though, not if you die. And overall, hopefully this has been somewhat insightful and helped you guys on the way to upgrade your Forger's Box. Many of you newer players who weren't around during Module 18 probably won't have known this, or you would have seen my older video where I don't believe I did it as well as I did here. Again, if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.